Alright, for those of you that are getting this on your SeaDoos, this is a 2005. You hear it? It's getting a click. Then, more than likely, that's your starter solenoid. I ordered this on Amazon. I think it was $17.98. Looks like this. I'm not a professional. This is for a DIY kind of thing. It's a starter solenoid. It's not the OEM, but it's the cheap one. So we're gonna see if it works. That's what the professional told me that it was. I'm gonna take this camera from lovely assistant and show you right down here. That's where it is. That's your starter solenoid right here. So we gotta unplug all these here and all this up here and pop this out and put the new one in and see if it works. Starter relay, it's another name for it. Could be the solenoid as well, so it has a couple names. But I'll start popping that stuff off and let you know how it goes. Alright, now I'm getting these out. Took out these two fuses here, right here and here. These two top fuses, and then you pull this thing out. You get a 10 millimeter. You'll be taking this out. The one I just took out. 10 millimeter. Use a deep well. And you're gonna get this thing. It's right in here. See my finger? Push this solenoid back there. Hold it from there. So you gotta get this top one off, and then that'll, if you push it down like that, that'll give you more room to get to that bottom one. So I'm gonna try to push that down there, and then I can see that bottom one down here. You can see my finger. I don't know, this one can't reach in there. Down here it's below the solenoid. Start relay, same thing. But now we're gonna go ahead and get this one out. And it took me about 10 minutes to finally get that out. Good, now we're gonna get the bottom one. That's what I used for the bottom, the deep well socket. And once you get that twisted in, that nut, hold it in with your finger like that so it doesn't fall out to the bottom, or else you'll be having a hard time finding it. And there's the 10 millimeter. The deep well socket worked really well. Now, here's the part we're taking out now. This is the old solenoid. What we're left with. This is the part that apparently is broke. And we're going to find out what size nut that takes. So it looks like we have to dig inside of it. So there's the positive and the negative. And I want to keep track of which one's what. I don't see any markings on the wires. So we'll take that off next. Ready? With the same 10 millimeter, you get these things here, and it looks like they're kind of inside the rubber. So you gotta take it and you gotta push really hard with your 10 millimeter and get it in there. And that same 10 millimeter that you just used is gonna take these out. So you take them both off at the 10 millimeter. Okay. Every turn is a victory with this thing. Okay, there it is. Right in. This should pop off, and I don't want to drop it. And there's the old one. Here's the new one. The one's taller, which leaves less room to work with, so that should be fun. And hopefully this works. Hopefully it's our problem, but it's off. It's corroded and stuff, so it's a mess. This one's all fresh, that'll be nice. Okay. Now we got these two put together. In order to get that on, what I had to do is stuff some tissue inside of my socket so that the bolt would press on it and it wouldn't go up in there. That way I had some leverage to push down on it while I screwed it in. And you might need three hands to do this, so if you got a helper, my wife helped me with it and it mattered. So if you got an extra person, that's good. Okay, so now with that on, we take this back down to the bottom here and find the holes and screw it back in. Make sure your caps up here, make sure these are closed. You might want to put grease in them if you got it, but I don't, so it's not getting it. Okay, that goes down there. You bolt it in. Okay, that was cool. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I stuffed that in there like I showed you for the other one to press it in. Now, when you put the bottom bolts in, if it's loose and it could fall out, you don't want that to fall in there. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking a piece of the paper, I'm using that to like snug it in there, so I don't have to. So I can use the other hand to guide it, and that won't fall out as easy. So I can wiggle it a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't fall out, but it's a very important part. I'm gonna do the bottom one first, so that we can move around the top one, and that should make it a little bit easier to do. But I guess we just got to find that bottom and let us pray. Okay, you can stop that for now if you want. Okay, so where I'm going with this, I'm going to show you if I can. These are the tool bolts it goes into. One down there, and it's threaded. So you're just going to try to line that up with those two. Okay, there it is in there. Okay, down here, you can see we got the bottom bolt is in right. Let me show you. There's the bottom bolt. It's in. I'm gonna leave it a little loose so that I can spin it for now, but it went in pretty easy. You just take the bolt, you put it in your hand, and I just did it by hand. I put it in so that I didn't risk losing the bolt. Now we put the top one in. That wasn't too bad actually. Solenoid is. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.